The 1917 United States 1 dime is part of the famous Mercury dime series, one of the most admired designs in American coinage. Minted during the early years of the 20th century, this dime reflects the artistry, symbolism, and history of a nation growing in global prominence during World War I. Designed by Adolph A. Weinman, the coin's obverse front features a youthful portrait of Liberty wearing a winged cap, representing freedom of thought. Because the figure closely resembles the Roman god Mercury, the coin quickly became known as the Mercury dime, although no ancient deity appears on it. Around Liberty's head, the word Liberty is inscribed prominently, while In God We Trust appears to the lower left, and the year 1917 is placed at the bottom. The small W on the coin is not a mint mark but rather the designer's initial for Weinman. The reverse back of the coin displays a fasces, a bundle of rods tied around an axe, symbolizing unity and strength, combined with an olive branch to signify peace. Surrounding these elements are the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, and 1 dime. Struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, the 1917 dime has a diameter of 17.9 millimeters and a weight of 2.5 grams. It was minted at 3 facilities: Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. The Philadelphia coins are the most common, while those from Denver and San Francisco are scarcer in high-grade condition. Collectors place great importance on the quality of the strike, especially whether the horizontal bands on the reverse's fasces are fully separated, a condition known as full bands, FB, which significantly increases the coin's value. Depending on its mint and grade, a 1917 Mercury dime can range from just a few dollars for worn examples to several $100s or more for uncirculated specimens. Beyond its material worth, this coin holds deep historical meaning. Minted at a time when the United States was entering World War I and asserting its ideals of liberty, unity, and trust in God. The coin's combination of artistic elegance and patriotic symbolism makes it a timeless emblem of American identity and craftsmanship from the early modern era. Next top. The 1918 United States of America 1 dime is part of the famed Mercury dime series, officially known as the Winged Liberty Head dime. This coin has captivated collectors and historians alike for over a century, celebrated for its beauty, symbolism, and historical context. Struck during the final year of World War I, the 1918 dime carries deep patriotic significance. It was minted at a time when the U.S. was emerging as a major global power, and its coinage reflected ideals of liberty, strength, and unity. The obverse front of the coin features a youthful female figure representing liberty, wearing a winged cap. This design is symbolic of freedom of thought, an essential American ideal that remains timeless. Because the winged cap resembles the Roman god Mercury's helmet, collectors quickly began referring to the coin as the Mercury dime, even though it does not depict Mercury at all. The word liberty is boldly inscribed around the upper rim of the obverse, a reminder that liberty was, and remains, the foundation of the United States. Just to the left of Liberty's neck is the national motto, In God We Trust. This phrase affirms the country's reliance on faith and divine guidance, especially poignant during the hardships of war in 1918. Beneath Liberty's neck appears the date 1918, marking the coin's year of issue. This date situates the coin in an era of global transformation and national optimism following the armistice that ended the First World War. Below the date, you can often see a tiny letter W. This is not a mint mark but the designer's monogram, representing Adolph A. Weinman, one of America's greatest coin designers. Weinman's artistry blended classical beauty with modern symbolism, and his Mercury dime design was part of the artistic renaissance in U.S. coinage that began in 1916 under President Woodrow administration. The reverse back of the 1918 dime features a powerful composition, a fasces, which is a bundle of rods tied around an axe. This ancient Roman symbol represents unity and authority, reflecting the idea that strength comes through collective harmony. Wrapped around the fasces is an olive branch, representing peace. Together, the two symbols, war and peace, create a powerful message of balanced national strength. Surrounding the reverse design are the inscriptions United States of America and 1 dime. These identify the coin's country of origin and its face value. To the right of the fasces is the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. This motto celebrates America's unity among diversity, a deeply meaningful sentiment in the wake of the Great War. The Mercury dime of 1918 was struck at 3 mints, Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. There was no W mint mark, as West Point did not produce circulating coins at that time. The coin is composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing 2.5 grams and measuring 17.9 millimeters in diameter. It has a reeded edge and a metallic luster typical of early 20th century U.S. silver coins. The silver content gives each 1918 dime intrinsic value, even if worn. At modern silver prices, its melt value alone can exceed its face value by many times, though collectible value often far surpasses that. One of the most important details for collectors is the full bands, FB, designation on the fasces. A dime showing all 3 horizontal bands sharply struck and fully separated is considered superior quality. Coins with full bands indicate a precise strike and well-preserved surfaces. These examples are rare, especially from the Denver and San Francisco mints, and command significant premiums. The 1918 7D overdate variety is among the most famous in all of U.S. coinage. It occurred when a 1917 die was accidentally repunched with an 8, leaving traces of the original 7 visible beneath the 8. This overdate error happened at the Denver Mint, and only a small number were struck before the mistake was corrected. Today, a genuine 1918 7D Mercury dime can sell for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. Regular 1918 dimes from Philadelphia, while more common, are still historically significant. Many were melted or heavily circulated, leaving fewer high-grade survivors for modern collectors. In circulated condition, the coin's silver tone develops a soft patina, often showing highlights on Liberty's hair and wings. Uncirculated specimens exhibit brilliant luster and sharp design elements. High-grade examples graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC are prized by investors and numismatists alike. Proof-like surfaces and rainbow toning can further enhance value. Beyond monetary worth, the Mercury dime carries immense symbolic importance. It embodies the ideals of intellectual freedom, unity, peace, and trust in divine providence, reflected in its inscriptions next top. The 1919 United States 1 dime coin is an important artifact from the early 20th century, reflecting the nation's values, artistry, and spirit during a time of major historical change. Minted shortly after World War I, this dime symbolizes liberty, peace, and the enduring American ideal. A dime represents 10 cents, or 1/10 of a U.S. dollar. The denomination was first authorized by the Coinage Act of 1792, and by 1919 it was an essential part of daily commerce across Amer. Although often called the Mercury dime, its official name is the Winged Liberty Head dime. The nickname Mercury comes from the coin's resemblance to the Roman god Mercury, but the figure on the coin is actually Lady Liberty, a symbol. The dime was designed by Adolf A. Weinmann, a German-American sculptor and engraver known for his elegant and classical artistic style. His work combined European artistry with American ideals of progress and democracy. The front, or obverse, of the 1919 dime shows a youthful female portrait, Liberty, wearing a winged cap. The wings symbolize freedom of thought, emphasizing the nation's dedication to liberty. The obverse carries several important inscriptions. Liberty arcs across the top, In God We Trust appears to the left, and the year 1919 sits below Liberty's neck. These words embody America's spiritual and democracy. Liberty's winged cap, reminiscent of ancient Roman imagery, conveys freedom of expression and the power of human imagination. It reflects a country that values innovation and independent thinking. The reverse of the coin presents a fasces, a bundle of rods tied together with an axe blade, a Roman symbol of unity and authority. It's paired with an olive branch, which represents peace. Meaning of the fasces and olive branch. Together, these two symbols send a powerful message: strength through unity and peace through justice. They mirror the nation's transition from wartime to peace in the aftermath of World War I. Around the edge of the reverse appear the inscriptions, United States of America and 1 dime. The phrase e pluribus unum, Latin for out of many one, appears beside the fasces, highlighting America's unity despite diversity. The 1919 dime was composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it both beauty and lasting durability. This silver content makes it intrinsically valuable. Each dime weighed 2.5 grams, had a diameter of 9 millimeters, and featured a finely reeded edge to discourage the clipping or shaving of precious metal from its rim. The 1919 dime was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D; and San Francisco, S. The mint mark, if present, appears on the reverse near the lower left of the fasces. The total production in 1919 exceeded 54 million dimes, with about 35.7 million from Philadelphia, 9.9 million from Denver, and 8.9 million from San Francisco. The San Francisco issue is generally scarcer. These dimes were used daily in shops, trains, post offices, and schools. In 1919, a dime could buy a newspaper, a loaf of bread, or a ticket to the local cinema, making it a symbol of everyday American life. 1919 was a year of adjustment after World War I. Inflation, labor strikes, and post-war challenges shaped the economy. The dime served as a stable, trusted piece of real silver during this uncertain time. Weinman's design blended classical beauty with modern ideals, showing how art and patriotism could merge in practical objects like coins. The details of Liberty's hair, wings, and features are remarkably fine for such a small piece. The phrase, "In God We Trust." This motto, first appearing on coins during the Civil War, reaffirmed the nation's reliance on divine guidance. On the 1919 dime, it reminds citizens of faith and moral duty amid a changing world. Wear and circulation effects. Because the dime was heavily used, most surviving 1919 examples show wear, especially on Liberty's cheek and the high points of her wings. These worn coins reflect real human hands and daily stories of early 20th century America. Coin grading and preservation. Collectors use grading systems from good to mint state to describe condition. A mint state 1919 dime with full details and original luster is rare and highly valuable. The 1919 dime is not the rarest in the Mercury dime series, but high-quality pieces are scarce. Depending on mint mark and preservation, values range from a few dollars to several hundred, and even thousands for top-graded examples. Next top. The 1923 United States 1 dime is a coin worth 10 cents, part of the Mercury dime series officially known as the Winged Liberty Head dime. It was designed by Adolph A. Weinman and produced by the U.S. Mint from 1916 to 1945. The coin is widely admired for its artistic beauty and is often regarded as one of the most elegant designs in American coinage history. The obverse front of the coin features a portrait of Liberty wearing a winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought. Many people mistake this image for the Roman god Mercury, hence the popular nickname Mercury dime. The obverse includes inscriptions such as Liberty around the upper edge and In God We Trust to the left of Liberty's neck. The year of issue, in this case 1923, appears at the bottom of the obverse side. The mint mark, if present, can be found on the reverse side to the left of the base of the fasces, a bundle of rods with an axe, symbolizing strength and unity. The letter W you mentioned is likely a confusion with the designer's initial AW for Adolph Weinman, which appears on the obverse near the right edge, not a mint mark. There was no W mint mark used in 1923. The West Point Mint did not strike dimes at that time. In 1923, dimes were minted only at the Philadelphia and San Francisco mints, so the coin would have either no mint mark, Philadelphia, or an S mint mark, San Francisco. The reverse design features a fasces, representing unity and strength, and an olive branch, symbolizing peace. Around the reverse edge are the inscriptions United States of America, 1 dime, and E pluribus unum. The Mercury dime was struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it a total silver weight of about 0.07234 troy ounces. The coin measures 17.9 millimeters in diameter and weighs 2.5 grams. Because of its high silver content, the 1923 dime has intrinsic value tied to silver prices, even if it's worn. The 1923 Mercury dime was minted in smaller quantities than some earlier dates, especially from San Francisco, making it slightly scarcer for collectors. The Philadelphia issue had a mintage of approximately 50,130,000, while the San Francisco issue had about 6,440,000. Coins in circulated condition are fairly common, but uncirculated examples, especially from San Francisco, are highly sought after. The artistry of Weinman's design reflects America's early 20th century idealism and optimism, emphasizing liberty, peace, and civic strength. The inscription, "In God We Trust," is part of a long American tradition of including spiritual mottos on coinage since the Civil War era. The word liberty across the top of the coin emphasizes the central American value of personal freedom. To me, wings on Liberty's cap represent freedom of thought, the ability to think independently and creatively without constraint. Collectors often appreciate Mercury dimes not only for their beauty, but also for their symbolism during a turbulent historical era. The 1923 dime was minted during the Roaring Twenties, a time of economic growth, technological innovation, and changing social values in America. Coins from this decade reflect the nation's pride and cultural identity between World War I and the Great Depression. When graded by professional services like PeaceGS or NGC, the coin's value depends on its condition, strike quality, and luster. A heavily worn 1923 dime might be worth only its silver value, a few dollars, but an uncirculated example could bring $20 to $200 or more. Exceptional specimens with full split bands on the fasces, meaning the horizontal bands are fully struck, command premium prices. The Mercury dime series remains a favorite among collectors, often assembled as complete date and mint-mark sets. Overall, the 1923 Mercury dime, 1 dime, stands as a symbol of American artistry, craftsmanship, and enduring ideals, a small yet powerful piece of U.S. history that continues to inspire numismatists a century later.